So, hello guys, we are conducting a debate on the topic is having pet better or not? And I'll be supporting pets, and Ayush is against pets. And we are taking 2 minutes to edit on the
Yes, this was our first topic that we chose.
topic. Yes, pets. Time starts now. 2 minutes.
Shall we start?
Hmm.
You can start as you are speaking in favor.
Hmm. Hello. Today, okay, pets. We pets is like having any animal in your house whom you on whom you shower your love. You take care, like considering him or her as a family member. Now, one point which can go against, like some people have pets, but then they don't give that much love to them, and this is what my opponent will mostly say. But I don't consider that as pet. Like only if you can shower, you can consider the pet, the animal as a part of a family, and then only you can consider him as your pet. Otherwise, no. So let me start by stating certain points. First points is the some pets like hens, they give eggs, cats they kill mouse, dogs they protect the house. Like if anybody robbery and all, then it helps in that. But this is my first point. So pets give a lot of advantages. Second point, but let us forget all the advantages. Let us only understand the love that the pet provides. If you go somewhere out, if you come back home, the pet will be waiting for you, waggling its tail, and be very waiting to see you. And the amount of love which is showered by a pet is immensely great. Third, children, in young children, they kind of learn a lot of things from pet. Like if you have a child at home and if you have pet, the pet becomes their best friend. They understand the attributes of love, like how to care for somebody. They understand a lot of things when there is pet at home. Fourth, some children may not have siblings or neighbors, so for them pets are very friendly. Like it is like it helps the child to grow in a nurture in a very better way. And fifth, I would like to state about walk. We a lot of time go for a walk with pets, and that time we kind of here I'm considering mostly dog. That time we consider that time we just like we also exercise or go for the refreshment. So let me summarize by saying the pet provides us a lot of attributes like love, caring for somebody else, being kind, and thus it helps into our development in a more better way. Over to Ayush.
Lovely. What you mentioned was very emotional and like okay, but there are also considering the other side, having pets is definitely fun. They can be caring, as you mentioned, but depends on what type of pet they are caring. Like dogs and cats are usually most common type of pets that people have, but some people also tend to have some wild animals as a pets, like sometimes snakes or birds, maybe, or some wild animals like wild hens also. They don't really belong to the domestic environment. They need to be in their open environment where they can thrive more properly, and like their nutrition will be more but in a better way if they stay in the environment, and they won't get it if they are all the time at home. Also, you mentioned a lot of good things about having a dog, but what about a dog or a cat which going for a walk? But what about when you walk the dog and he poops everywhere? They poop at your house also. You have to clean it up also, and some people do not really enjoy doing this, and that's why they don't really care about the pet. Having pet is definitely good if you are really caring about it, but most people sometimes don't care for the pet. They beat them up and not clean them properly. They need to be taken care of. Also, pets like dogs can make sometimes lot of noise, and they can be disturbing to the neighbors. And also, if you're they can be disturbing to the neighbors, because you can't really ask a dog to stay quiet all the time. They tend to bark. It's their natural tendency. Also, uh, uh, yeah, also some people because of this barking issue, they tend to there is their Linux part. They I don't know exactly what it's called, but whatever how the sound is made by the dog, the barking sound, they tend to cut some part of their dogs, and they are not able to bark for that reason, which is not really good for the pet's sake. And yeah, those were my main points.
Okay, so one point which Ayush mentioned was about like some house members do not like take good care of the pet, and which is a very valid point. But as I started in the introduction saying that a pet is one whom like a family member, or they consider the house people consider them as a family member, then only it is a pet. Otherwise having pet is no does not make any sense. So as I mentioned it in the introduction, I think I do that part very well. And second point, which I should have done in my introduction is Ayush mentioned about having some like snakes and other animals which Ayush mentioned. But there is a legal law, like you should know like which pet you can consider. Even in some breeds of dogs are not considered to be kept at home. Like they are legally not you are not legally entitled to keep all the breeds of dogs. And I think everybody should be aware, and if you are not legally considered to keep them, then they are not pet at all, so there is no point of discussion over there. And third point which Ayush mentioned about was some dogs and all bark, and which can disturb somebody else. So this topic is not very common in India as such, but in other countries, dog training or pet training is considered as a very predominant factor when you consider keep any pets. And they have certain people who train the dog, and who come at your house, who takes the dog at it is like a job. And since we are not aware of it in India, but this do exist. And maybe we can bring more of such like such cares. And yeah, yes, these were some points which I have had to mention. uh,
Okay, so you mentioned that families who only love pets can only love animals who can consider them as a pets, who like only cares for them are should be considered for as a pets. But what about the people who are like all the families working, and like most usually in the morning if they are working, then the pets will be left alone at the house, and no one will be able to take care of them. And also they when this situation happens, the pets usually tend to become very irritated, and they are we can't even put them in a like a chain them or in a cage, because they will get very irritated. If we don't do this, then they will if we allow them to move freely in the house, they tend to like destroy your furniture or eat something of your couch or anything. But and also speaking about some, you mentioned there is a law, but what about birds? I don't think there is a law for birds, right? Like you can have birds as a pet, but what imagine a life like you have wings and you are born to fly, but you are stuck in the cage for your lifetime. What's the point of such love?
uh, Firstly, as Ayush mentioned about like having pet and the a family member can like if all are working and all. So I think that should be a realization of the family, like not to keep such pets which whom you cannot give so much time and care. As I have mentioned it in the first starting stances, and secondly about birds which Ayush has mentioned, like it is actually totally law and wrong, and it questions a lot in the zoo life as well, and like enclosing the birds and all. Yeah, so I feel it should be just like realization with both the sides. If you provide love to somebody and the love comes back, like it should not be like you can keep any animal and cage them. Also there is one different perspective to this, but I would like to just state in a poem by Rabindranath Tagore. He mentioned about having birds in the cage, and there was two different ideologies. The bird wants to fly, but one bird wants to stay in the cage because he does not want to enjoy it. He gets his or her food at home. He can like enjoy whatever, like there's life at content, like whatever he has some friends, he has that group friend circle in the cage, whatever. But considering that that perspective as well, but still I am not that much fond of keeping the pet in the cage. But rather than that, let us not forget about the other love and care which other pets such as dogs and cats are providing. And I'm not aware about the law of the birds as yet, like what is the law currently. My question to
Uh,
Ayush, my question to Ayush is, a child, a child can get a lot of attributes from pet, and if pet is considered, how can like isn't it wrong? Like
yes, it can be like a wrong, but like speaking of the similar example, but what if the child is alone and he's young, but his both parents are working? So, like, how will he take care of the animal if something happens, or if like a child won't really enjoy to take care of the animal, like cleaning his poop or something like that. Also, they may enjoy the fun part, like playing with the dog, playing with the pet, or taking them for a walk, or like feeding them. But what about the other aspect, like the cleaning stuff and taking cleaning them, or taking care of their health? What about that aspect?
aren't we training the child as well to care for somebody else? Uh,
uh, yes, definitely, but how can you make sure that he will be like without a supervision he may do some harm to the animal, right? Like maybe not intentionally, of course, but it can happen.
can you
Like
give a,
he may uh, like for example, you can give some food like which are not really suitable for the animal, but they which can harmful to them. Also, like they have to be taken care of if like they are if they are going through some issues that the child won't really understand, right? They have to be taken to the vet or any caring center or such aspect. Like how will a child uh, tackle that?
I think
But also one more question I had was, like you mentioned that only people who should love have animals. But what if you really love the animals, but you are working professional? Then in that situation, what will you do?
okay. First question was about the child, and I think a young child will be like always supervised by the parents, like if he or she is doing something proper or not. So I think in the supervision of parents, like if you can trust a child, or there is a house help or somebody like that. uh, and secondly, Ayush mentioned about if you love animals, and if you love animals but you cannot give the time to that animal, that time you should realize, as I have defined in the start, that you are not entitled to have a pet. You can maybe donate some money to, like, any place which is providing help to animals, but not like you are not supposed, you are not like compulsion, there's no compulsion for you to have pets. And also, like, in current situation, there is even like law to take pets from airplane from one place to another with proper guidance, like you have to close their mouth, and you have to special bags and all are provided. So maybe if you have to commute from one place to another, you can still have, like, the fact that it exists shows that people follow it. So yeah, you can do it in that ways. But if you cannot give at least three, maybe 4 hours or three hours for the pet, or if you cannot give any time to the pet, then I think having pet is no use. Then you should understand your love part.
Okay, but like suppose if a situation arises when the family wants to travel somewhere for a lot of days, like some of their relatives' place or anywhere, or maybe some emergency. Like in such scenario, what will you do with the animal? Like suppose if you want to visit a family member who is in a hospital or anything, but you can't really take, and if you like it's in a different city, and like it's not always practical to take your animal with you, right? So in such scenario, what will the take the one person who owns pet do?
One thing could be, whoever is staying close to you, you can just ask them to have delegate your work to them. But and the other thing is, like, close by relatives, whoever are there, or yeah, these are some immediate points which I could think of.
Yeah.
Yeah, shall we go to GD?
Yes.
Let us do a feedback before. Yeah. Yeah. First question is, I do not have any question to ask you or argue to you. What my strength was to, have grab it too emotionally. So that is what I could do,
Emotionally,
and
yes.
that is what
I got that.
I could do. But some good questions which I had in my mind was about the birds. You could also have mentioned about fish. Like, fish can no way express their love and all.
Which was a good example. Hmm.
Um, and yeah, do
Like
you?
most of my counter questions you answered in your introduction only. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you define what is pets, and uh, like you shouldn't have pets if you don't love them. Like there was no, like it was kind of close ended and didn't give me much of opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah, I think.
Also about the barking part, that disturbing the neighbor, you explained about the training them, but I didn't really wanted to argue there because there was some cultural difference there. Like if we are speaking in only terms of India, then that was a major issue. Maybe in UK it's not that big issue.
Uh, I
But also you
I forgot
one
to
more
also
point.
mention about the culture, this situation in UK. I think the government funds, if anybody has pet, they have to, get like a Aadhaar card. Some official things should be done, and government give some like food and all to the pet. So that culture could, I forgot to mention about it, that there should be certain things in India as well. Like,
There was also yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Like you, there was also another good point which you could have mentioned. Like some people like tend to take animals like stray animals and take
Ah,
care of them. You
yes,
could have mentioned
I could
about
have.
that, but
I should have
like
mentioned it.
if otherwise no one would have cared about them. But the if someone who takes the stray animal and take care of them, like treat them very well, then it's a very good point.
This was a very good point. Very, very good point. I should have mentioned it. Yeah. Do you have, like? Can we take 1 minute to think of other views? Although there is
Yes.
no much, but let us think.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, sure. Mm. Do you have anything, any suggestions for me? Well,
Uh,
suggestion meaning what I could have spoken.
yeah, like the one point I mentioned, and like I don't really have any points as such, but people are like you did it, but like the relationship that children build and the importance of relationship, which can be learned from the animals, like caring and stuff. Also, uh, like when animals die, they like it's a little extreme, but they can be made emotionally stronger if the children is with a pet from a young age.
Yes, yes. I think this is a very nice point. Like I was thinking to mention like uh, usually animals have a lesser lifespan, so a child learns even that in his phase. I should have mentioned that. It is a good point.
Yeah, I wanted to convey that on that point only, like kind of similar.
Uh, Yes, so two great points, one, which I felt I could have mentioned, which you said, is one about the child, like the lifespan, and the second point is about stray animals. Somebody can pet them. I do not really have any points for you, but one thing I think is just that fish you could have mentioned, like they can't really
Fish,
express
yes.
themselves, and it's good you mentioned about birds. Like I'm actually against that, but I tried to speak, which was I felt it was irrelevant of me speaking on Rabindranath Tagore's poem, but that is a good.
Yeah,
I just like I just simply said it for a perspective.
if that was an intro or something, that maybe it could have sound like a
Sounded
good way.
better, but I was avoiding you to speak in terms of birds because I myself don't support it very well.
Like I was going to say, like you like countered your point only, like you don't agree with that completely. Like after that poem you said, like you mentioned that you are not really agree, but if you didn't say that, I would have said something like in the like it's a good analogy, it's a good perspective, but in the real world that's not the case. You can't really ask the bird, right, if he
Yes,
is happy or if he wants to move
yeah,
out.
I was just going to give you feedback that you had more scope to question me and like make me in the uncomfortable state, but I felt today you did not really stick with whatever you said. Like you accepted whatever I said very easily. Maybe you were thinking in my
Uh,
perspective as well, but I think you should have done that, which was a
like if I was thinking to question like me, but I was expecting you were going to say the same thing again, like you in
uh,
your intro only you summarized everything and like give answers to most of the questions, so didn't want it to anything to be repeated.
uh, uh, okay, okay. Shall we go on the feedback part? Like any talk
Conclusion.
conclusion? Yeah.
uh,
Or let's do the no. Let's do the Gemini part first and then come.
yes, like before that I want to show one thing, like this topic is very close to me, like the points you mentioned few, so I wanted to show you something, like you have seen it probably. So this was my
Oh.
first pet. I had him when I was young, when I was like 7, 8 years of age, maybe even younger. His name was Boogie. I really loved him. He was like really friendly to the family members, like especially me. And but whenever a stranger used to come in my house, like he used to like not. He wasn't friendly to them. He was really hostile whenever a stranger used to come in the house.
Yeah.
But like whenever I was at home, we used to play a lot and like have fun. I have had many dogs in my entire life so far. Like I think I have had one, two, three, four, five dogs till now.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it.
nice. I had just one like one dog which I remember, and some two three after that. Like I was very close to one dog called Fizzy, and after that, no. I think one point which
Uh,
you could have mentioned is the owners of the pet does not. Just a second, my mom is calling. Hello. बरं 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 चल. Yeah, you could have said that owners do not really think that having a phobia of pet could be an issue, like even in cases of dogs. Maybe you could have mentioned that. Shall we go on the
hmm,
Gemini part? My mom is on the way. I just have to open the door.
yes.
Just a second. Yep, Ayush. Hello. Hello. Yep. Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Did you get any
Uh,
points which we could have mentioned? I got few.
uh,
Shall I start?
yes. I just mentioned from your side first.
Uh-huh.
Just a few points was there. Few points were there. Could have mentioned about having a pet could improve your physical activity also. Like you will tend to walk him more, or you will also stay more fit. Also, it is also a good for a mental health also because you always have a companionship. You would be a lonely person all your life. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same 2 points which I've written. Active and playful. Like I mentioned about work, but I did not stress a bit on those words,
Hmm.
which could have been a better way. And secondly, yes, as you have said about emotional support and reduced stress, I said about other attributes I love, care, and all, but I did not mention about these. Which yes, again I accept to you. Speaking from your
Uh, hmm.
yeah, can you go ahead?
No, I was just going to continue. Like from my side,
As
actually, I mentioned about allergies and health concern also.
yes, yes, allergies. And second point which you could have also said is about expensiveness. Like all, not all
Cost, yes, that was my next point.
our
Like,
Gemini and ChatGPT are syncing, and maybe not all home or not all places except like dogs or pets. Like
hmm,
you, as I have also mentioned about you can take the dog from one place to another, but not every place is pet friendly. So you
hmm.
could have also mentioned that.
Yeah, but also few tenants no doesn't allow pets, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, that is the thing. One question which I had, I tried to summarize in the introduction so that you don't have any scope to speak more, which I would have not done if it was GD. But if it was a debate, I think that was I just tried to play strategically. But was it? Does it help or is it wrong?
I honestly don't think like it's a good point. You are speaking from like you are going giving solutions right away in your introduction only. Like there is no uh, point for like a good conversation for us to have, like a good argument to have.
Uh,
Like you could have, like if I had argued, you could have, then you can have countered, right?
but
It
saying it,
sound
saying it.
it sounded like a little bit you are trying to avoid something, like you don't want to go to
Uh,
certain, but maybe it sounded like that, but maybe I am wrong because I'm speaking from my side too, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
My point of view.
Like I tried, like in GD perspective, like I won't say that for sure, but in a debate perspective, isn't it smart to cut your points from the start?
Let's ask ChatGPT only. I'm not sure.
Yes, yes, yes. Could you share
For
the
me, I
screen?
didn't.
Share the screen with me.
Uh, can you do it?
I'll okay. I'll do it on the phone.
Uh,
I'm not sure if the
okay, fine.
recording will stop.
No, no, I'll share it. No,
Okay.
no, no problem.
And second feedback which I had was you had a good scope today to stick to certain things and question me again and again. But today I felt you did not ask me. Like I did not have even one question to ask you properly.
Hmm. What should I say?
In the introduction, is it wise in the introduction? Is it wise in a debate to
Okay.
uh, to counter the other side so that the other side does not have any good points to say?
Hmm.
While it might seem like a strategic move to preemptively counter the opposing side and opposition generally not the most effective way to start a debate and can actually weaken your initial impact. Okay, okay. Weakens your focus, your team stance. Okay. Prematurely reveals your hand, meaning
Uh, how can I explain it? Like it tends to like show like you are giving everything at the start only, and you don't have any points in the
uh-huh.
further part of the debate to say anything. Like
Understood,
it's
understood.
kind of sounded like you want to get it done with and don't want a good debate kind of.
Understood, understood.
Did you hear that?
Yes, yes. Opposite, the entire
Dodi tera
debate.
naam bada pyara. Uh, what you should do to introduce in this time? Only state
Strongly
your
state.
position. Dodi. Maybe you can do it, but not at the intro. Like when we
Hmm.
both put our side and do the intro part. Maybe then you can while answering my point, you can counter every point. Maybe
Maybe yes. Yeah.
something like that.
And slight modification is like when I was stating about the pets, I could have like defined the pets what I feel the pet is, and not stated certain things like words like count my counter like
Yeah,
you. I should not have said that.
yeah. You shouldn't have said that. Like something that my opponent might
Might
say.
say
You
yes,
said
yes,
something like this,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Like
I
in the
felt so.
intro, at least it's a big no. At
No,
least from what's I think.
yes, yes. Even I feel so. But defining is not wrong. But I think I should not
Defining
have
is
done
fine.
that. Yep.
Hmm.
Other than that, nothing for today. Can you ask?
It sound
Uh,
yeah.
can you ask him what questions I could have asked you in the rebuttal phase?
This sharing the same points again.
Yeah. I felt so if I would ask you about the things like those attributes, you could have said like you could have easily gone against me saying that there are other ways to be emotionally good, take any skill and all. So I avoided asking you that those questions.
uh, like maybe what I think you can do is like instead of trying to avoid you are kind I think you are thinking in a way like if I say something then how I will counter it and then you are trying to think
Uh-huh.
something maybe
Yes, yes, yes. You
like
are right.
instead of just stick to your points and make a habit of like whatever I say you will counter it anyway even if you are like even if even if it is not a good point but still you should have that skill to counter that point as well.
Understood.
Like
Yes, yes.
not every time you will be able to think like if I say this what will he say so that I will say this so, like shouldn't be that way
Yes, 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 yes. Understood. Correct, correct.
maybe.
Maybe yeah, you are right. You are right. Yeah, that's it. Do you have anything else to add?
So I think that's pretty much it.
Yep. Yeah.
You stop recording.
Yeah. No, no. Recording is still on. Okay. So let us just
Yeah.
conclude. We
So since this is going on YouTube so for
yeah.
that reason.
We did not conclude today. Let us conclude both
Ah,
us.
yeah, okay.
Uh,
Uh,
okay, let me go
like
ahead.
yeah.
Uh, like the laws again. The laws should be good in some like as I have mentioned, like the government taking care of the pets and like proper documentation of what pet is there, whose house, like that should be properly done so that people don't even leave the pets at in the stray. And one thing that could have been implemented, and also the pet training part, like there should be more initiative done in the pet training, maybe from the vet side or something like that, so that there is proper balance in all. And the third thing which I would like to state is if, even the pet, like if you are traveling somewhere, you can keep your pet at vet's place for some time by paying or something. Such provisions must be made, and a proper legal in the constitution, I don't know, there should be certain things written like what you can pet, what you cannot, which breed, you cannot, which like birds you cannot. That thing should be properly there. And yeah, this is what I felt. Otherwise, pets are the perfect and you can just enjoy them.
Yes, to conclude or summarize, I think it was a healthy discussion, and it's definitely good thing to have a pet, but we have to only we should only have a pet if you really want to take care of them, if you really love the pet. And also, as you mentioned about the regulation, not regulation, like rules, like what pets you can have, what pets you cannot have. And maybe also we have to make, even if there are such rules, we have there should be awareness among the people, like this should be spread. Just making the rules won't be enough. And
Mm.
also, like if, one point which I mentioned was like if someone is working professional and like not able to have pets, there are also some services like uh, you can have pets on like a rental kind of service. You can have like a pet therapy, it is called. I don't know if it is
uh,
real
uh,
or it's really working. I saw it somewhere. You can have pets for like few hours, someone else's pet. You can play with them and the pets goes back to the owner,
mm,
if you really love pets. And yes, if you really want pet, you should definitely not only the you should not only consider the good side, like the playing with the pet, having fun, taking them to the walk. You also have to consider taking their care, giving them good food, nutrition. Whenever they are sick, taking them to the vet or the pet hospitals, or uh, like keeping them clean. And yeah,
mm.
there is always this side you have to consider, not only the fun side. Yes.
So that was our end to today's debate come GD. Yes. Stopping the share.